Boo!
I'm fixing my hair. Calm down. Man, having short hair
with
all
a jump scare.
it's my hairline, a boo, the Office reference on your hat. Like, there's a lot of jump scares going on right out of the gate. Yeah, I like wearing trucker hats, but when I go coach and I have a hat on, it fucks my shit up. So
Hey, that's fair.
on
Not
recording
a huge
days,
fan of trucker hats, though.
I prefer a trucker hat to a regular baseball hat. I like the mesh back. I like the room to breathe. I like the two-tone nature of them generally. It's my prefer. I've got a hot body. Not an attractive one, but my temperature is quite elevated.
Right.
Just on a day-to-day basis. So, like, constant sweating, constant just, like, overheating, trying to just give off heat. Like, I'm the guy that's, like, walking around with gym shorts in the middle of winter because I am genuinely that warm. Some people...
But to put a name to that warm body...
I would be Connor. And this is my wonderful friend Wyatt, a.k.a. the Typical Gemini on YouTube and social media. And this is the Duels and Mana Dorks podcast, a bi-weekly, not twice a week, every other week, bi-weekly Magic the Gathering podcast where we talk about the news and the cruise and all the cool stuff going on in the world of Magic the Gathering. The Gathering of Magic, in fact. World's most popular card game. I'm sure that's what WotC would want us to say, you know.
Well, that's not disputed, you know. The most popular card game in the world.
I mean, Uno's pretty cool.
Yeah, now we're making some crazy claims now that I think about it.
That's it's a standard 52 card regular deck for like blackjack and poker. I think might be the most popular card, but it's not like it's not cards designed specifically for a game. So I don't know if that would even count in this calculus at all. But I digress. The reason I'm waffling on about this nonsense is it's kind of a light week, and partially that is due to the fact that we are coming up on PAX East, where Magic will be having its debut showcase for the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering Universes Beyond set. We are recording on a Wednesday. We're going to post the podcast up to our Patreon, patreon.com/thedungeonbros. You can get early ad-free access to the podcast. You can leave some questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, and ideas to have them read on the show.
You get a shout-out.
You get a shout-out. Get a shout-out at the end of the program or during the program. Usually it's during the program because Brandon Voll's that awesome. He's the man. He's the OG.
We'll just shout you out all the time, Brandon.
Regularly, in fact. Regularly is the goal. And he's deserving of it. He's a really cool dude. What's not cool is the scheduling of this fucking debut showcase for Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
All right. Podcast goes live to the free feeds on Monday. Every other Monday. Sometimes it's a hair late, but like we're pretty rock solid on that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We record the Wednesday before, have it up around like Thursday, Friday in a perfect world on the Patreon.
Who saves all the news for the weekend?
And this podcast is going to go live on Patreon, and then all the cool stuff will happen, and then it's going to go live to the free feeds. And I feel hurt personally.
Yeah. It does feel targeted.
It truly is a targeted attack, you know. And we don't have hexproof.
No, we don't even have ward.
We don't even have ward 1, which is sometimes enough to make a card overpowered.
Yeah.
Apparently.
It is. I stand by that.
Anyway, the next episode of the podcast will, of course, be covering all of the fun announcements that will be happening at PAX East for the Final Fantasy debut. They've already said it's going to be 2 hours long. So that's a lot of shit they're going to be showing off. Keep your eyes peeled to MTG Goldfish, MTG Previews, your favorite previewing site of choice for Magic cards this weekend, because there's going to be a lot. And I'm excited to see if some of the theories we've been discussing in previous episodes of the podcast about what the set's going to end up playing out like.
Then we could be like, called it.
Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Wyatt, how the hell are you? Have you been playing more Magic since we last spoke a week ago?
I have played no Magic the Gathering in that time, unfortunately. Goldfished a lot, but as far as playing with other people, have not done.
You know, playing with people is one of the most difficult things about Magic, finding people to play with. An easy way to get around that, Magic the Gathering Arenas is going to be getting some updates this weekend as well, starting on Saturday. That is our big story of the day. We also got to talk about Festival in a Box for MagicCon Atlanta? I don't remember. Ooh, that's embarrassing. Las Vegas. Again, Las Vegas. Damn, I feel like we just had MagicCon Las Vegas.
Yeah, it hit twice.
It's hitting twice. It is hitting twice. A secret. Oh, I dropped my pen.
Gambling.
This is a mess. This is a shit show. It's almost like we've done this 3 weeks in a row because we had bonus action, a Duels and Mana Dorks supplement podcast where we finally got around to reviewing Tarkir Dragonstorm.
Good times.
It's a really good set. I'm gonna reach down, real quick. Fear not, I got the pen. Hey. We also got a secret Lair commander deck, and they're doing a survey for Tarkir Dragonstorm. It pairs very nicely with the review podcast. If you want to put the review podcast on, you can get it on YouTube, podcast services around the globe. Put it on, fill out your Tarkir survey, give your thoughts, give your opinions, select your favorite cards. Some content creators that may or may not have pushed you into caring about Tarkir Dragonstorm.
Mm-hmm. Shout out the little guys.
You know what to do. I'll know if you don't.
We will.
I'll know.
We're
if
like
you don't.
Santa in that way.
I don't see you when you're sleeping, and I don't know when you're awake, but I definitely know if you've been naughty.
Not if you've been nice, though. We only know the other half.
I definitely know if you've been naughty. Anyway.
Looking at you, wizards.
Looking at you, Watsy. Looking at you, Pinkertons. Sir. Oh, one of the questions on the survey is about what your opinion of Watsy/Hasbro is, and I put 1, and then it popped up, please tell us why.
Yeah.
And I just put no. And then I went on to the next one.
Just kept on trucking.
You just kept on moving, you know. I don't got time for this. I don't got time to be doing freaking short essays for everything, you know. I got to keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Like y'all are actually going to read it.
Exactly. So because of the announcements that are going to be coming very soon at PAX East, kind of a slow news week for Magic the Gathering this podcast. Which is kind of nice for us. We're going to be out of here pretty quickly. Nice for you. Save some time. Not so nice in the figuring out what the hell to talk about. But thankfully.
Hey, you just give me a topic, and I'll spin us into at least a
Spinning
30
yarn.
to 45 minute in no time.
Oh, absolutely. We are going to start with Magic the Gathering Arena. That is the mobile client, the digital client, officially supported by Wizards of the Coast for Magic the Gathering. The Pioneer format is finally coming to Magic the Gathering Arena. It will be replacing the Explorer format, which was introduced in 2022 as a Pioneer facsimile and a, quote, true to tabletop format, consisting of all the Pioneer cards that were available on Arenas. After several Arena sets exclusive to Arenas, including Explorer Anthologies, Historic Anthologies, and Pioneer Masters, the card pool is now the same. Tybalt's Trickery will be unbanned from Explorer to align itself with the Pioneer ban list. And to finalize the change, they'll be adding the 11 cards that have not already been released to Arena as available for crafting and as a reward for participating in the limited time Pioneer Showcase event this weekend. If you're watching it on free feeds, it's already happened. You've missed your opportunity. Seems like kind of a narrow window in my estimation, but
that's what it takes to be a pioneer. You know, you got to jump in these narrow windows.
I guess so. Now, Pioneer, very popular format of Magic the Gathering. I would say between Standard, Pioneer, and Modern, I think it is the lesser of the three. I think Modern and Standard are much more popular than Pioneer. Certainly, it's more popular than Historic. not historic, fucking legacy, vintage. Historic's the Arena one. I got Arena on the mind. What do you make of this move for parity with the digital client in Magic the Gathering Arena?
I think it's really good. I think Pioneer is an interesting format for sure, because I feel like Modern kind of gets figured out almost in a way until they release a new Modern Horizons set or a Modern exclusive set. For the most part, there's not too many things in Standard that make big waves as far as Modern goes, but Pioneer, even though that format will eventually, I kind of believe, will also reach parity to the point where it is also quote-unquote figured out, and there's like a hierarchy of decks that might change slightly, but I think it's a good thing, especially on the mobile aspect of it. I hope that Wizards does more to include Pioneer.
Yes. For those of you that don't know, Pioneer is different from Standard and Modern in that it is the format includes every standard legal set from, Return to Ravnica, that's back in 2013, and then every standard legal set going forward. No sets rotate out like Standard. Standard is the most, now is it 3 years for rotation, plus the 5 years for Foundations. So every 3 years, the sets that are 3 years old get moved out of Standard, so all the card pool is fresh cards that have been printed recently in the last few years. Modern goes back a little bit farther, and they have direct-to-Modern sets that are only legal in Modern, making the format a fair bit more powerful than Standard or Pioneer. But Pioneer does aim to be more powerful than Standard because of the larger card pool available. And if you have a Pioneer deck that you like, it never rotates.
Yep, good investment.
You can as long as that deck remains relatively viable, you will be able to play with it forever, and you'll be able to upgrade it as new cards come out as well. Pioneer is fairly easy to get into. 2-player format, 60 cards, 60 card decks, 15 card sideboards if you choose to play with it. The non-rotating nature makes it very appealing for longevity. So yeah, Pioneer, great format. In a digital sense, it seems a little bit less than in a physical sense, because you're actually like buying into cards, whereas digital you're able to collect the cards pseudo for free, though I know a lot of people don't just free to play Magic Arena.
Yeah.
But along those lines, the economy in Magic Arena, we've talked about this before in previous podcasts about the pack economy, and they have an update that will help with collecting cards and the card economy. No, it will not be any changes to the price of packs or including digital arena packs in physical packs, which they should do. But instead, we're getting some improvements to how they handle reprints and card styles. This is also going to be taking place on Saturday, May 10th. And it includes a small collection of changes that are just there to help benefit the player and benefit collecting new cards. Reprint collection improvements. New printings will only need one opened or crafted version of the newest printing to allow all of your copies of said card to be able to be used in that new printing style. So, for example, if you have 4 copies of any Art of Opt, for example, it doesn't have to be from the same set. All you need is a single new printing of this hypothetical Opt reprint, and then you'd be able to use up to 4 copies of that new art in your decks that allow up to 4 copies in a deck. Along with that, duplicate protection is still going to be present, so new rares and mythics will be prioritized over reprints in the rare and mythic slot for packs that you open. But with the new art updates, you will only need 1 copy instead of 4 to complete that slot for the set. So any reprints, if you have 4 copies of the card, you only need 1 to get the new printing version of it, and then that completes that full chunk for your collection. Card styles are going to be able to be used for any printing of a card, not just the printing associated with that card style. A lot of times sets have card styles that are exclusive to that set's printing. Now you can use any printing and get the card style along with it. Crafting, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a good quality of life change.
Crafting in Magic Arenas has changed slightly. When you have cards that have the same name and have been printed across multiple sets, when you craft that card of any of those printings, you use a wild card of the lowest rarity of all of the printings. So if you were trying to get a, let's say for example, Monastery Swiftspear, printed at uncommon, it's also been printed at common. So if you wanted the uncommon one that they did in Brothers War, you would only need common wild cards to be able to craft those copies of Monastery Swiftspear, despite the fact the specific printing you are crafting is uncommon. There's some improved UI for visual differences within your card collection when you are viewing various versions of cards, arts, printings, card styles, all of that kind of stuff. And lastly, better pre-constructed deck discounts. Discounts on pre-constructed decks within the Magic Arena store. You will be getting discounts based on the cards in your collection with the same name, regardless of the printing. Previously, pre-constructed decks would give you discounts based on cards of the printing in the pre-constructed deck, discounting in jewels and gold and all of that sort of in-game currency. But now it doesn't matter if you have the same card name. It doesn't matter what printing. You will get a discount, basically a refund for those cards that you would be then purchasing again, effectively. Some very nice quality of life improvements for the economy of Magic Arenas. What do you make of these kinds of changes, Wyatt? Do you think this is enough to get people to go back to arenas that have been falling off in the last couple of years?
I think it's maybe not quite enough yet, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. I know that it felt really, really bad to have to dust your uncommons or your rares to even pick up a different version of the card. The art change is also good. I mean, these are, like we said, just quality of life changes that I think could start to help bring some people back, but I don't think they're going to win over a lot of people with that. Mm-hmm. Again, like we talked about, one of the biggest things that I think turned people off from Arena is the fact that your packs you have to buy twice, essentially. If you buy a pack in real life, you're going to have to buy a pack digitally most of the time. You might get a code, but there's no guarantee. And then no one wants to spend money on virtual packs when you're buying real packs.
So along the lines of buying real packs, I do want to make a bit of a note. So previously, you would have to go in and redeem a code every single set, and they would give you 3 free packs. Now those just come into your inbox automatically. If you log into the app and you click the claim button, you get 3 packs for every set that comes out. You get 3 free packs. Also, if you participate in a pre-release event, previously pre-release kits would have a code card in them that you could redeem for 6 packs on Magic Arena as well. That was the only product that I'm aware of, other than some of the starter decks and the Magic Arena beginner decks that they would sell in real life. But you would get a code card for pre-release kits that you would have to go in and redeem. Interesting thing that I found out with Tarkir Dragonstorm, they've recently done away with that. And instead, if you participate in a pre-release event at a local game store using your Wizards account in the companion app, it just automatically syncs because it has to be the same account for your Magic Arena's account. And it just sees that you went to one, and it gives you the 6 packs in the game, which I found out recently logging into Magic Arena. I was like, thank you for participating in Tarkir pre-release. Here's 6 packs. And I was like, oh, shit, I didn't know that you guys knew that, which I think is also pretty cool.
Yeah, that is very considered.
Cool. Those are the 2 main ways that you get quote-unquote free packs. One you truly do get for free, the 3 for every set, and then the 6 if you participate in a pre-release event. Which I highly recommend doing for basically every set. Pre-release is a super fun environment to play Magic in. We said it last episode of the podcast. I've said it for, it feels like a long time, though it probably is only 2 or 3 episodes. why they can't just include a code, a QR code, a redemption key for not even, you don't even have to do 1-for-1 pack for pack within physical Magic packs. You could just be like, if you buy a pack of Magic cards, you get 200 gems in arenas. Not quite one. It's not quite one pack, so it's not a straight 1-to-1. Obviously, it's easier to collect in arenas because you really only need 4 copies of a card, and then you can have basically as many as you want across any decks that you want, and it doesn't even matter. Do you have any ideas or suggestions for how you could improve the MTG Arena economy, specifically with the cards and the packs and the monetary supply of the entire system?
I think you just need to make the gems and the gold probably go farther. I would say just make things a little bit cheaper. Mm-hmm. Because, you have people spending $4 to $5 to $6 on a pack. And, again, no guarantee that will switch over. So, if someone buys a pack in digital or at an LGS or something, or a big box store or whatever, you're not seeing that, twice. No one wants to spend money on both something physical and something digital. That'd be like buying a hard copy of a game and then wanting to play it on a different system, and instead of being able to be like, I bought the game, now you gotta go to Steam and buy the same game, and it's $60 for both games. Why is that, So, I think that if they made the money that you do put into Arena go farther, that would also be a step in the right direction.
Yeah. I think when they added the Mastery Pass, they went a long way towards doing that. So as long as you're playing the game, you're getting free packs extra just for playing the game without even buying the pass. And then if you do choose to spend your gems on the pass, you do get even more packs from not only the most recent set, but some of the recent sets that have come out in the past, as well as a whole lot more in terms of sleeves, card art styles, individual extra bonus mythics and stuff. A note about the Mastery Pass, you don't have to spend money on it. Technically, if you manage to earn enough gems in the game, you are able to just spend the gems, and you can theoretically perpetually keep your Mastery Pass going without ever spending $1, which really kind of helps boost your outputs in terms of cards that you're getting in the client.
Right.
But coupling with all of the changes to crafting, to the duplicate protection, set completion, the reprint collection, I think it's going to be way easier to complete sets in their entirety, and it's going to be easier for you to get more of the cards that you want and fewer of the cards that you don't want, as long as you're actively playing the game. And I think that's kind of the key. Someone like me who doesn't really play Arena all that often, it's really kind of hard to muscle my way into getting more cards unless you actually play the game. So, do you have anything else you would like to say about Magic Arena, Wyatt, before we move on?
Nope. Pretty. That's my summary of Arena. I have nothing more to say.
Yeah. These changes, I think, definitely feel like they're stemming the bleeding in terms of player count going down, and hopefully they have something that draws new players in or old players back in the future. So hopefully this is just the first step of many towards an improved Magic Arenas. Moving on. Festival in a Box, Las Vegas 2025. Bring an entire Magic convention to your doorstep in one box. We're getting a little bit of a heads up on this, which they've started doing as well with the Secret Lair Commander deck that we'll be talking about shortly. We actually have a heads up before the week of a Secret Lair drop, which is exciting. So, available at magicsecretlair.com starting May 19th at 9 a.m. Pacific time, as well as at MagicCon Las Vegas. That is where you can get the Festival in a Box for MagicCon Las Vegas 2025. In the box, you get Secret Lair Slay the Day, including some, what I would say is very dope art for Marwyn the Nurturer, Lisa, Shroud of Dusk, Aloro, Ageless Ascetic, and Sithis, Harvest's Hand. All very playable cards. Aloro
very
is
popular as well.
Yes, Aloro, very popular, $25 card in its base printing, nonetheless. You also get 3 promo cards, including a playtest promo card in All You Can Eat Buffet. It is a playtest card. It basically holds no value, but is pretty cool. What does hold value is the $10 to $15 Ugin the Spirit Dragon and Sliver Hive, which is a sliver-based land that you can get for $15. So, between the promos and the Secret Lair, you're looking at about $50 to $60 in value right there. On TCG Player, you can get a booster box of Mystery Boosters 2 for about $255. That is about as cheap as they have ever been on third-party resale sites for Mystery Boosters 2. If you were to add them together, that would be about $310 in value, just in what you're getting exactly. Obviously, that can skyrocket quite a bit if you manage to pull like an Urza Lord High Artificer from the Mystery Booster 2, one of the very expensive future sight frames. Anything like that. Any of the Arena cards that are exclusive to Arena that only work in a digital sense, using digital-only mechanics that are being printed in paper, or that kind of stuff. Previous Festival in a Boxes have been right around a good value. I think partially due to the fact that getting a booster box on a third-party site was well over $300 at the time. Now that booster boxes are a fair bit less, if this Festival in a Box is much more than like $250, $260, even though on paper you're going to be getting more value than that, I would be weary. And obviously, if you're interested, it's going to sell out like immediately. Yeah. So, Wyatt, what do you make of this Festival in a Box? Do you like the Secret Lair? Do you like the promos? Do you like Festival in a Box like as a product offering?
I mean, I'm excited that some people will really enjoy it. I believe that it is a good deal for people that really wanted to attend the event but couldn't. The Secret Lair itself is kind of meh. Like, I get that Aloro is a $25 card and, probably sees play quite a bit, but almost all the other cards I feel aren't super valuable. I mean, they're good popular commanders for sure, or popular cards in Commander. I know Sithis is probably like one of the top Selesnya commanders.
Yeah, if you're playing an enchantment deck in those colors, you are playing Sithis.
Yeah, 100%. An Enchantress on a commander in the command zone, are you kidding? Yeah. But the rest of them, I mean, I haven't seen an Aloro deck in a very, very long time. And it could be because the commander is $25. Could be a reason. But I don't think that's it. The other cards, though, it's just kind of a similar story we've seen from Secret Lair.
Yeah, Secret Lairs, on paper, they always are much less valuable than they end up being just because of the scarcity of Secret Lairs in general. I think the promos are really fun. Sliver Hive hasn't really gotten any super meaningful reprints. It has its base version and then an extended art version. The extended art version is so rare, it's like $160, and then the base version is in that 10 to 15 range. Both Ugin and the Sliver Hive are in retro frame as well, so they're actually new printings, new style of cards. I really, really love when they do Planeswalkers in the retro frame, personally. I think Planeswalker ability formatting on that retro style is really, really cool.
Oh yeah, the retro frames always look sick.
Absolutely. We do not have a price for this yet, and I think that is a little bit telling. I'm concerned that when we get to May 19th, a lot of people are going to log on to MagicSecretLair.com, get in line to purchase Festival in a Box, and realize that it's like $320, $350, something like that. In which case, I would say don't. If it's over $300, it's a no deal for me. I don't care what the value of the promos in the Secret Lair is. If you're already in the market for a Mystery Boosters 2 booster box to draft with friends, which I think is probably the best way to play Mystery Boosters 2 specifically, the draft environment for that is really fucking good. Sealed environment, also very good if you were getting like 6 cards each, doing kind of a pre-release style event with friends. If you're in the market and you were looking at purchasing that, definitely wait. Try to get the festival in a box. If the price is right, then you're just kind of getting extra value for it.
Given what we've heard about Final Fantasy so far, I'm inclined to believe that the box is also going to be more expensive than previous years.
Yeah. Which is a shame. The last few times we've seen Festival in a box for Mystery Boosters 2, the value's been there, and it's been worth it. But the inexplicable absence of the price right now, I think, is very telling of what that's going to be. If you ended up watching our video where we played limited games with 1 pack from each set that came out in 2024, I was very upset that I wasn't able to get Mystery Boosters 2 packs for that video for us.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I should have just bought them off TCG Player. Here, Mystery Booster 2. Because single pack, $10 right now.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Not crazy right now. I would like to note in the beginning of December, $16.
Look at that.
And then through the month of December up to mid-January, it peaked at $20 a pack. So,
just slowly working its way back down.
Yeah. So, again, if this is the cheapest individual packs have been for Mystery Boosters 2, I think we finally reached a point of saturation where it's like easier to get in outside of Festival in a box.
What I'm hearing is Mystery Booster 2 in our next Chaos draft.
That could certainly be a thing. I'll be going to Gen Con this year. So last year at Gen Con is when they did like preview for Mystery Boosters 2, where Gavin was like running around giving people random Mystery Booster 2 packs, doing like content creator meetup drafts and shit before the box had actually come out. And I was not able to get my hands on them, but I'll be going to Gen Con this year. Gavin has 3 unknown events. They released the event catalog for Gen Con. He has 3 events for Gen Con that are unknown and $100. So I would not be surprised if Mystery Boosters 2 was on sale at Gen Con. So I'll probably pick up some packs there for 2025. Get it for a
steal.
For the bit, for the bit. You got to do it. Do you have anything else you would like to say about Festival in a Box, Wyatt?
It's a festival in a box. It could be anything. It could even be a festival in a box. You know how much we've always wanted one of those.
Peter. Lois has like a terrible voice. Like it gets worse. You know what I mean? All of their voices change, except for Meg's. Meg stays exactly the same. Mila Kunis, like, super consistent. But, like, as time goes on, their voices become bigger and bigger caricatures of themselves.
Well, that's just the natural Flanderization of Family Guy.
Flanderization. That's a good term. I like that
term
quite a bit. It's such a great word. Moving on. Wrap up. We got some smaller things we want to talk about. New Secret Lair drops galore. Not 2 that have pretty decent value, 2 that don't have great value. If you're into the art, you're into the art. Nothing super crazy in the regular Secret Lairs. But we have a Secret Lair Commander deck. Everyone's invited. They've been teasing it for a while. The 10 cards within that have new arts have been given to some specific content creators to help kind of drudge up some excitement for this deck. It will be helmed by Morafon the Boundless, a 7 colorless mana 6/6 legendary creature shapeshifter. It's got Changeling. When it enters, you choose a creature type, and then spells of the chosen type you cast cost Wooburg less to cast. making it a 5-color commander deck. You've got the standard 10 borderless double rainbow foil cards featuring new artwork. You have a non-foil Rin and Siri Inseparable. And then 89 non-foil Planeswalker Stamp reprints. You also get some beautiful double-sided tokens, including 4 double-sided rainbow foil Shapeshifter tokens, which this deck will be creating quite a few of. Got some expensive reprints here in Coat of Arms. Good stuff in terms of actual content in the deck. Wyatt.
Yes.
What would you pay for a deck like this? There's like about $220 worth of cards being printed here. Some very valuable reprints in things like Bitter Blossom, aforementioned Coat of Arms, Maskwood Nexus, pretty solid mana base, all things considered. Not anything like super crazy.
Right.
What the Rin and Siri going to be a very expensive reprint there. Avenger of Zendikar, Morph. Like there's some good reprints here.
Yeah, some hitters for sure.
Exactly. So, and you remember when we had Heads I Win, Tails You Lose, the 20 Ways to Win. We're looking at like what, $100 commander deck?
Gotta be, you know.
It's got to be $100. In fact, no, it is.
$100.
It is not $100. It is in fact $200
Whoa.
for this commander deck.
I didn't realize they were giving us 200 cards.
I know, isn't that crazy? Well, you are getting 4 double-sided Shapeshifter tokens that are foil as well. And I will say they do show the Shapeshifter tokens and that each of them have different arts. So they're not all the same art just 4 times. So you're getting a couple extra arts in tokens, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, tokens can hold value.
They can. That is true. That is true. Some, especially the cards that make like one of tokens that aren't used on any other cards. Those tokens,
like the Goblin Shaman from the Tale of the Mirror Breaker, Fable of the Mirror Breaker.
Yep. Planeswalker emblems tend to be worth a good amount as well.
But you know, there are these things called other cards that you can just be like, this is a shapeshifter, this is a this. Or if you're fancy, you can get infinite tokens, and then they can just be whatever you want them to be. I don't think unique tokens is quite enough of a justification to raise the price by $100. This just seems more like they're just trying to see what they can get away with at this point. They know that what they're printing is popular, so they're like, okay, well, if y'all would pay $100 for these decks, let's see if they'll pay $200 for this. And
Absolutely.
If it happens and it sells well, I don't think we'll ever see another $100 Secret Lair deck again.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, ways that a $200 Secret Lair deck like this could have been worth $200. Looking at you, Mana Base. All right. Why the fuck we rocking the filter duels? Your Mossfire Valleys. Pay 1, tap 2 colors. Why are we running Ancient Amphitheater? Reveal a giant card from your hand and it enters untapped. I get it, you know, shapeshifters, changelings, all that. Why are we playing the tapped tries that don't have cycling and they don't have basic land types?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did we get fetch lands in this?
No, not a single fetch. Sorry. My apologies. There's a Fabled Passage here.
Oh, of course.
So you can get one of the, 9, 10, 12 basics that are in this deck as well. None of which will have new art. We're playing Path of Ancestry. I
would just like to remind everyone how powerful Heads I Win, Tails You Lose is.
Such a great deck. Such a great deck. They could have gotten away with a $200 commander deck here.
Mm-hmm.
Reprint the Triumphs.
100%.
And 5 fetches.
five. If you're gonna do 5 colors, you need to give us the base to make sure that we consistently can play them.
5 fetches. Replace all the tri-lands with the triomes that you want. Replace all of the filter lands with fetch lands. Keep
there you go.
Everything else about the mana base the same. The quirky Glintleaf Palace because you want to reveal an elf, but you got changelings all over the place, so you can reveal a changeling and you can get that to enter. That's cute. That's fun. It's thematic. Okay.
Yeah. Very cutesy.
But it's like if you're absolutely right. They're just trying to see what they can get away with, and that just irks me the wrong way. And it's not for lack of reprint value. Like, you're going to get $220 worth of cards. 10 of them are going to have unique art that are secret lair arts, so they're going to be worth a fair bit more than their regular printings. Like, the monetary value will be there.
Right.
But $200 is...
But the monetary value is there in the wrong places.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, if anyone wants any of those secret lair versions of the cards, then they're probably just gonna, like, if you need it for a deck, why would you not just buy the card? You know,
exactly.
You don't need to spend $200 to get a unique version of it. It seems odd to me that you wouldn't put the money where players, people that buy this, are going to know where the money needs to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, you hit the nail on the head. Like, I've got absolutely nothing to add. Also,
if you won't put fetches in a $200 secret lair commander deck, we can give up ever getting them.
Yeah, you're straight up just not going to get fetches at all.
Yeah, in any commander product ever, forever. They're just
forever.
Like, we can't do it. Which makes no sense to me, because this seems like the most opportune time to do it, because it's not going to flood the marketplace with fetches.
Exactly.
You guys already do limited releases, so it's not like they're print to demand anymore.
The last time they reprinted fetches was in collector boosters for Tarkir Dragonstorm. And then before that, it was Modern Horizons 3.
Yeah.
Like, if we're not rife with fetches. I think it's probably a good time to buy into some fetches right now.
Absolutely.
Now that most of them are in that $10 to $20 range. But this secret lair would have had no effect on that. Just straight up.
No.
It's just every time you think they're like just about there. Like, if this deck as is $100, it's like that's better than 20 Ways to Win.
Yeah.
This is a better deck than that, like, easily, you know?
Also, just to throw it out there, let's not forget all the shipping, printing issues that 20 Ways to Win had.
Mm-hmm.
And you're guaranteeing me for $200 that I'm gonna get this and it's gonna be perfect? It better be.
Yeah, it fucking better be. But you'll get free shipping.
Oh, well.
You get free shipping. If you happen to be interested in this, it is going to be part of the Ultimate Pencil Super Drop launching May 12th, which will be after this video goes live for the free feeds for the podcast. So it might still be available. I would not be surprised if it was, honestly.
Some of these secret lairs will probably still be available because WotC's track record with secret lairs has been up and down. We have high highs and we have low lows.
The only secret lairs that I find myself gravitated towards actually buying are the ones where it's like, you got me, you know?
Yeah.
Like when they did Monty Python and the Holy Grail, like, they got me on that one. Like, that one.
Everyone's got a weak point, you know?
If they did a Persona secret lair, like, you got me. You know, you got me on that one.
They do another horror franchise. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna get it.
When we get the inevitable Final Fantasy secret lair, I'm gonna get got.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. The other one, the unique card design secret lairs, which are almost impossible now to get because of the lines. Like the Marvel secret lair where they had all 5 of them for each of 5 Marvel characters that you could build commander decks around. unique designs in those cards. So those just hold a massive amount of value. Last little bit of the wrap-up, the Tarkir Dragonstorm set survey. Available on magic.wizards.com. If you go to the news articles, you can click the read article section. You can see all the most recent stuff there. And several down, Tarkir Dragonstorm survey. They're polling the audience on what they think. And I took the survey. It does not include just Tarkir Dragonstorm. It asks for a little bit of history about when you got into Magic, how old you are, your basic demographic stuff, how you felt about sets that have come out in the last year. They go all the way back to Murders at Carlisle Manor for a lot of sets that you can give ratings for. You can do short answer responses. It asks how you got into Tarkir Dragonstorm, how you have played it, what you have purchased versus what you have played versus what you've been given as a gift. The specific products that you have purchased. It asks about the very specific products within Tarkir Dragonstorm. And then it asks, what has influenced you to buy Tarkir Dragonstorm? To get into, to be invested in the set?
Who influences you? Maybe an influencer.
Maybe two guys with a shitty podcast.
Yeah, who could that be?
Maybe
we're two guys with a great podcast.
That's what I'm fucking saying right there. Because those guys aren't us. We're us. And we're great. We're awesome. We got a beautiful child here. I got a beautiful... Justin? Oh, she's up in her bed. I couldn't see her. She was so low and like under the edge, so I couldn't see over the little cat bed. Anyway, go to magic.wizards.com, check out the survey, let your voice be heard. This is probably the most efficient way to actually get WotC to hear what you specifically think about a set for Magic. Fuck the Reddit threads, fuck the YouTube videos, fuck Blogatog. This is how you get your shit actually heard by the people that it matters to hear. Oh, Dad, it's time to end the podcast.
Yeah.
We got to be done here. All right, you guys got a brief one. Not a lot to talk about. Next one's going to be a bit chunky. We got PAX East coming up with the debut of the Final Fantasy set. 2-hour debut showcase for the Final Fantasy set. We're going to be getting a lot of cards. Going to be a lot to talk about for Final Fantasy in the next episode of the Duels and Mana Dorks podcast. Get it every other week, Mondays, early and ad-free. Patreon.com/DungeonBros. $5 a month gets you that early ad-free access. Join for free if you want. If you just want to type some comments, get your questions read on the show. Comments, concerns, anything you got. $15 a month, get your name read at the end of the show, like Brandon Vole does, because he's a really cool dude. Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Brandon Vole. With all that being said, we love you very much, and as always,
farewell.
Oh, we're English this time. Okay.
Yeah, had to mix it up real quick.
You caught me off guard.
I was about to look up a different way to say goodbye, but then she started crying, so I had to just, off the top of the dome.
That's fair.